What up, man?
Hey, what up, playa? What it do, yo?
What it do, baby boo?
Yeah.
I don't even know what all that shit's from. What are you doing?
Fixing the curtain.
It didn't fix anything. It's coming from off to the side. You're talking about that little
Yeah, a little
light there?
ray of
Yeah,
sunshine
when
there.
you moved it, like I think it looks like you have a light bulb right next to your camera shooting out. That's what it looks like.
Let me see if I can tweak the light and see if that'll work some.
Because when you moved your curtain, there took away one, took away two. Ooh, there you go. Mood lighting.
Yeah, that'll work.
Nice.
That'll do, big. That'll do.
That's from Charlotte's Web.
I don't know.
I don't either. I have no idea. I've heard it before though.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll go with Charlotte's Web. Shit.
So, are you allergic to pretzels or no?
I am not allergic to pretzels. No.
Okay. Because I did just before we get on the air, I learned something new that you're allergic to. I thought
Yeah.
I knew all of your allergies, but I learned of a new one.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
crazy. Do you have like a list written down all the shit you
I
can't
I
eat?
don't. It's just in my head.
Okay. Well, I'm breaking all the rules, Dave. I'm eating pretzels with peanut butter in them.
Yes, the peanut butter filled ones are nice.
Mm.
Don't waste your time and money on the Reese's ones. Oh man, I don't think they're that great. I think the other ones are better.
This was given to me as an Easter gift.
Okay, well, it was
Oh,
free, so it tastes fine.
not free. I paid for it through my wife. So,
Oh, it's even better.
yeah. Oh, sorry, the
But
Easter bunny.
yeah, yeah, the I think the Anderson ones are the other ones. I think those are pretty good. The ones from Walmart are fine.
I think
Menards,
she
you don't have
knows I like
Menard.
Reese's, so I think
Yeah. Yeah, I mean they're not bad. They're just not as good as the other ones.
you know what would make them really good is if not only was there a peanut butter ball in there, but there was a little chocolate ball in there. Have
Yeah,
it actually be a Reese's inside the pretzel. Mm.
yeah. If the peanut butter was more creamy as opposed to powdery, that would be also better.
Have you ever? Okay, so I'm holding one right here, right?
Yeah.
When you get them and you shake them, you can feel the peanut butter ball in there and hear
Hmm.
it like rattle. Like you're not going to pick it up on this audio, but like you can hear it rattling in there. So
Yeah,
it's
you
like
can feel it shake inside.
it's
Yeah.
weird. It's like I don't know. There's air in there.
Yes.
Could be
Yes.
like COVID air inside these, and I'm about
Hey,
to eat some COVID air.
you're just ingesting COVID. Yummy. COVID tastes wonderful.
It's okay because I'm immune.
That's cool.
I've already had that strain.
Nice. Well, this is the new Reese's peanut butter strain.
Yep.
It's
Well, I'm not vaxxed either, so.
COVID-19 PBR.
Ooh, I just found one. You can see the peanut butter sticking out.
Yeah. Look at
Huh.
that.
Anyways,
Nice.
um, so yeah, lots of weirdness. Hey, don't get the Reese's ones. Here you go. I got them.
That was pretty funny.
What else should I not get? Oh, I have that too.
Probably. Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Don't get their coffee.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Dunkin'
My
Donuts.
wife told me, that they got not great coffee, so I don't get coffee there. I get donuts.
Yeah. That's
Now
what
that
you
they've
should
dropped
buy.
donuts from their name and they're
Yeah.
only
It's just
Dunkin',
Dunkin'.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I only want your donuts. So
Yeah. It's dumb. Yeah. Their coffee. I've had their coffee three different times. three different places, two different states, all of which have sucked ass.
Mm, no good.
No. So,
Are
I
you
would,
still on the scooters kick?
no, I haven't had time. I've just been too busy to do scooters. I do like their coffee, that peanut butter one. I do like that, but I just don't have time.
We have a scooters. Um,
Yeah, I think they originated down south.
there's a couple other places that I'd never seen before that we have down here. And then obviously Starbucks, but
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, I'm not a huge coffee drinker, but
Right.
um and if I do like so I don't like the taste of coffee. I love the smell of coffee.
Hmm.
So like in the mornings we have a Keurig and my wife will mix a coffee and like a hot chocolate or something like that or a cappuccino with a coffee. So I'm getting a little bit of that coffee, but I'm kind of trying to kill the bitterness with the other thing, you
Yeah.
know? And that's about the only way I can do it.
Yeah.
So,
Joy bought some mushroom coffee. That was interesting.
mm, like chaga mushroom or something.
No, no, I don't know what kind of mushroom it is, but it's just mushroom in
Lion's mane, maybe.
no,
I
I don't
know
know.
they make coffee with like with mushrooms. It's supposed to be really good for you.
Yeah, that's why she wanted to try it, and it's pretty decent. I mean, it tasted like coffee, but it obviously was not. And she's a foo-foo drink coffee girl, so I like my coffee black. Like, just give me a black coffee, I'm good.
Just like your
Uh,
men.
yes, just like my mints.
Sorry.
Um, that's okay. Um, you're just projecting. It's
I
cool.
could have said just like your clients.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Sorry. That's
Yeah,
why I
that,
went
that
with your men.
yeah, that one was kind of fucked up. But anyways, um,
Sorry.
that's all right. Yeah, she likes 45 ounces of fucking creamer and whipped cream and fucking flavoring and like half an ounce of flavor of coffee. You know what I mean? It's
So
like,
like me. So she likes her
yeah,
so she should just drink cappuccinos
yeah, yeah.
because then you get that little tiny bit of coffee and then you get all the
The
goodness,
sugar and
you know,
bullshit.
the
Yeah,
stuff that makes it taste good. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But it was pretty decent. I had one the other day. It didn't really give me any extra energy or anything like that. It just tasted like to me. It tasted like a chocolate shake, and I even said I was like, "Oh, Ryan would like this one,"
Hmm.
because it did just taste like a chocolate shake. Yeah.
Nice.
But
You like my shakes?
you do.
I
So, all
do.
right. Well, let's jump into some wordage.
Let's do some words. This one, Dave, is because you said you wanted to know the title before
Yep.
we start. But I feel like, well, I'm not going to tell you the title. I'm just going to say it has to do with a dentist.
All right.
So I guess you can be thinking on terms of that. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So go with, um, give me an exclamation.
Why are my pants off?
Why are my pants off? Okay. A verb.
Um, drill.
All right. Do one, two plural nouns.
Let's go with balls, titties.
That's it.
Okay.
Part of the body.
Belly,
Another part of the body.
kneecap,
Okay. I need nine regular nouns.
wow. Okay. Nine regular noun. Let's go with pink belly.
Pink belly.
Yep. You know what that is, right?
No.
It's where someone just fucking slaps your belly and you get a big
Oh,
fucking red pink belly.
got
A
it.
swirly.
Swirly?
Yep.
I know
Um,
that.
Cavity, because we got to go dentist.
Okay.
Um, Dildo,
Yeah.
torture chamber,
Okay.
um, penis,
Okay.
elephant.
Okay.
Go with two more. How about a fetus
Okay.
and piece of shit? Just one.
Just one piece of shit. All right. I need two adjectives.
All right. Let's go with bloody.
Bloody.
Yep.
Okay.
And engorged.
A word we've never used here
Yeah.
on Mad Lib. All right. It says person in room, last name, but do like a celebrity last
Uh,
name.
let's go with Stallone.
One of you say that last name. I woke up to the movie. What's the arm wrestling movie
Over the top.
that was on?
Wow.
Yeah, Stallone.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. This one is called A Visit to the Dentist.
Hmm.
It's a, it really should be two people. Um, I guess
Conversation.
I wonder if I could take a picture of it and text it to you and you play one, I play the other.
We could do that.
Would that work?
Yeah.
I mean, we're trying something new here. We don't normally, um, but I just, rather than me trying to read two people.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Who do you want to play, the dentist or the patient?
Oh, the patient, of course.
All right. So I'll be the dentist. Let me send you this Mad Lib. You read the patient, and I'll read the narration at the top. Okay.
All right.
Let me know when you get it.
Wow. All right. I got it.
And you see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't read ahead.
No, I'm just making sure I can read it.
All right. So you're going to play patient. I'm going to play dentist. All right. So here we go. A visit to the dentist, a one act play to be performed by two titties in this room. And action.
Thank you so very much for seeing me, Dr. Stallone, on such bloody notice.
What is your problem, young penis?
I have a pain in my upper pink belly, which is giving me a severe kneecap ache.
Let me take a look. Open your belly wide. Good. Now I'm going to tap your balls with my fetus.
Shouldn't you give me a swirly first? A swirly killer?
It's not necessary yet. Why are my pants off? I think I see a dildo in your upper torture chamber.
Are you gonna pull my cavity out?
No, I'm going to drill your tooth and put in a temporary elephant.
When do I come back for the engorged filling?
A day after I cash your piece of shit. Wow. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I feel like if we were doing this like skit, I would definitely Joe Biden could have played the dentist here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a little goofy sounding. Why are my
Now I'm
pants
going to
off?
now I'm going to tap your balls with my fetus.
Yeah.
That was kind of
And,
funny.
and then the I think I see a dildo in your upper torture chamber, which means
Yeah,
I would assume your butthole is your torture chamber, just another
yeah,
word for it.
yeah, yeah. I do like that. You're gonna drill my tooth and put it in a temporary elephant.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to help.
I think that turned out pretty good. I hope next time we have like a multi-person one, it's going to be a while. It looks, we're definitely do the same way. You'll
Yeah,
play
no,
a
that was
character.
good. That worked out pretty good.
Yeah. And it was funny.
It was. It was.
What is
So,
your problem, young penis?
yes. Well, Dr. Stallone, let me tell you.
Because that's what you call all your patients.
Yes.
If you're a boy, I call you young penis. If you're a girl, I call you young vagina.
Now, if you're an older person, then you would have obviously called them an old vagina or an old penis.
Right.
You know.
What's your problem, old penis?
Yeah.
What's your problem, flaccid penis?
Yes. What's your problem, Blue Waffle?
Oh man, you're more
Too
like a
early?
gynecologist.
Too early for Blue Waffle?
That would be funny. Huh? I'm if it says like on the outside of the dental and gynecology,
Yeah.
the two things you probably don't want in the same office.
Dental and proctologist.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Um, so speaking of clients, I am now working on training to become a ketamine assisted psychologist.
Ketamine?
Ketamine assisted, yeah. So I'll be able to
What the fuck is like? I know what ketamine is, but how I thought ketamine was like illegal.
no, it's a legal drug. It's a controlled substance. So
So
basically,
explain this.
yeah, so basically what happens is I get trained in how to do it, and then I sign my clients up that I want to go through this process. They are then shipped ketamine. They bring the ketamine here, they take it, and then we do a session while they're on ketamine. So it's basically kind of like a controlled environment for like tripping your balls off and doing some inner working. But you're not really tripping your balls off because it's a low sedative.
So is this to be able to like? This would be more for a client that needs help processing a like some sort of trauma, or is this to like
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
them?
So it's good with people that have PTSD, anxiety, and depression. So they have to go through a screening process through the company to see if they qualify for a session, and then they get a session and they come in and they do it. So it's interesting. Part of my training is I get to do one session on ketamine to see what it's like.
Really?
So yeah,
Now, have you ever used ketamine?
no, I've never taken it. Never.
Interesting.
Yeah. So as I progress through that program, I'll let you know. It's
Is
interesting.
is there ever a chance you would do ketamine and then do the podcast?
No, because it's given and basically I get a dosage for each session. So I would have to take it for the session. I don't get it here. It's not like I
Yeah.
have it to prescribe because I'm not a prescriber. I'm not a licensed doctor or anything like that.
Right.
But it is interesting. I found it. I've been seeing a lot of ads for it the last couple of weeks, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to look into it. Why not? So I set up a conference call for Friday and talked to the guy there, and he kind of ran me through their little sales pitch, and I'm like, sounds pretty dope, you know. What's really cool is it hooks me up with a prescriber network. So right now, I have a prescriber that I can refer my clients to if they want ADHD meds, autism meds, mental health meds, stuff like that. But there's not a lot of talking between myself and the prescriber. So I've had issues where I've referred people to them and I don't know if they've actually seen them or not. And then the prescriber will call, throw a fit because they don't have any notes from me. And I'm like, I don't have any notes from you either. Like, I don't know. I don't even have a release saying that I could talk to you about this client.
Mhm.
Like, and then they give me shit because I'm just a lowly counselor and they're a fucking doctor, whatever. Um, so the fact that this is a more integrative networking, which is kind of cool. So every client that I have, I could send them through them to get prescribed medication, which is cool. They are licensed in 29 states. All of the states that I'm currently licensed through to provide mental health, they are licensed in. So I can provide it to all of my patients, which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah, little on the pricey side, but it's a tax write-off, so I don't really care about that piece of it.
Yeah.
And it'll be worth it to be able to provide an extra service. And there's not very many in Wisconsin that I've found, so
Mhm.
it's just an added bonus that I can add to people. So it's kind of cool.
Nice.
And then by the end of May, I'll be a licensed sex and couples therapist. So I'll be the new Dr. Ruth. So I take over for her because she's no longer.
Right.
Uh, she's not practicing anymore, anyways.
From the other side, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So that's pretty cool. Those are
So
the new
did you say sext, like with a T
sex.
or
No,
sex? Okay. It sounded like you said sext.
no, sex and
Okay.
sex and couples therapist.
Okay.
Yeah. So if any clients or any listeners out there are having problems in the bedroom, I could help them out.
Hmm.
You know,
Well, there you go.
yeah,
We'll be looking for some emails on that, maybe.
yeah, maybe even anonymously, we're good. So
Or tell us your name. Send us the videos.
no, I have to take the videos myself.
Yeah. I have to be there. As your
Yeah.
counselor, I must be there
I have to
to
be in the
film.
room to coach both of you and what to do and how to do it, or all three of you if it's a threesome thing. I'm not
Now,
licensed for foursomes, only threesomes. So
here's a question. Is there such thing as a healthy threesome?
depending on the context, yes.
Hmm. Okay.
So what I'm meaning by that is three completely single people just having some fun. Then
Gotcha.
it's healthy. But when it's a couple, throwing a third person in there, it's not healthy
It's
because no matter.
usually there's some reason that's a deeper rooted issue that needs to be figured out but you're thinking as not you as a counselor, but you're thinking as one of the parties here. There's things that or you're trying to figure out and deal with, and you think the answer is introducing something new
Yeah.
when really you need to be focused on a different problem.
Yes,
It's getting
absolutely.
you to think that introducing something new is going to help.
Yeah, because let's say it's two guys and a girl. The
Or
significant
a
other.
cup, or a cup.
What?
And two guys in a
Oh,
cup too. It could be a cup.
yes, yes. Two guys and a girl. So it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, and another guy. The boyfriend oftentimes will feel emasculated, will feel inadequate, may think she's enjoying the other guy more so. There's a lot of jealousy in there, and then vice versa. If it's two girls and a guy, the girl will also actually, in that case, it could be girl or guy gets more jealous of the other person. So in situations like that, and plus, if the big thing is if it is agreed that there is going to be a threesome in the couple, like say two guys and a girl, there has to be two girls and a guy also. It has to be 50-50. Unless the guy only wants to do it with another guy, which fine, whatever. But I've had situations with couples where the girl's like, absolutely not another girl. I will only have another dick in there, so two dicks and that's it. I won't do the other thing. And the guy's like, I don't want to do that. And she's like, well, if you want a threesome, that's the only way we're doing it. And so no matter what, she's like, I'm not doing another girl. I'm just not doing it. And that became a big issue because the guy thought she wanted a threesome, and that's why they were having, like you said, that's why they thought they were having issues in the bedroom. So he did it and then couldn't face her again because now she slept with another guy. Even though he was there and participating,
Mhm.
she still, either slobbed on his knob, got penetrated by him, whatever, jerked him off, whatever it was. There was still another guy's,
Mhm.
member there.
Yeah.
So
So in that case, he was, not jealous, but like, yeah,
insecure. Sure.
it actually created more issues than
Yeah,
what
they're
they
no
were
longer.
thinking they were going to solve issue. Instead, they created more.
Yeah, they're no longer together.
Yeah. There you go.
You know. So
I actually had, was a friend, uh, now more of I guess, I don't even know if you could call him an acquaintance, but where I don't know if it was him or his wife. I believe they were married, but they, at the time, they're no longer together either, but they introduced it was him and his wife and her friend, female.
Mhm.
And the wife and friend had been friends for a long time, so they were really comfortable with each other. And he got enraged because they weren't giving him any attention in this threesome. He was essentially a cuckold. And
Mhm.
he got enraged and was like, he like threw a lamp across the room and all this. This is all coming from him. So he's telling this story, and it was like, Jesus Christ. And then, so figured, okay, well, that will be the end of that whole experiment. And then then he got caught having an affair. So they moved because, if you move, you won't have an affair anymore.
Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
So they moved away, because there's not people, not new people where you're moving to. So obviously you're
Yeah.
not going to have an affair when you move.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is your friend
Yeah.
because you just moved. Just saying.
This has nothing to do with me. This is all, you don't know this person, but, um,
Okay.
anyways,
Wink. But anyways, go ahead.
huh,
So they moved.
no, so they lived in Illinois, actually moved to Wisconsin. It could be you. No, I'm just kidding. No, they moved to like Green Bay area, right?
Mm.
From like Northern Illinois. And then, up there, they thought, all right, well, let's try this threesome thing again, but let's try the opposite because I'm in his like in infinite wisdom, I will not be ignored during a threesome. So
Yeah.
uh they didn't know anybody up there. So naturally, let's go to the bar and see what we can drum up. So
Yeah.
they found another guy and two guys and his wife now, and apparently that went okay. But then there was a pregnancy scare that maybe the other guy got her
Oh wow.
pregnant. So then there was that whole fiasco they had to deal with. And then um so she worked. He was a stay-at-home dad or something. And so being stay-at-home, he, was meeting people online or talking to people online and then started having another affair. And and well, so naturally then, well, we got to move. So they moved back to Illinois, and last I heard, they were not together. So, um, anyways, there's way more to that story. That's like
Yeah.
the high notes, but anyways, it's quite interesting. What I've gathered from the whole thing is it doesn't matter which way you swing in a threesome. Probably
Mhm.
probably need to figure out the other things, and it doesn't help if you're like, I don't know, they met on MySpace. So
Oh, wow.
just give you an idea how old that was. This was years ago. So
Yeah.
wow,
Wow. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I've had one threesome. Wasn't great. Wasn't a
No,
big. Wasn't a big fan of it.
you and another dude or two
No,
chicks?
me and two girls. Me and two girls.
All right.
You know. Um.
Just gonna ignore the threesome me and you were in?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was pretty high that night, so I don't remember.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and
That's
it was
one
three guys.
thing that we've never done, Dave. We've stolen golf carts and driven into band camp, but we have never had a threesome together.
No, but you were around when I had sex.
I'm sure I was.
You know,
To
so I mean,
hang
does
out at
that
your
count?
house. No,
I was thinking more of the stealing of the golf cart night.
yeah. in the porta potty. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how much you want me to say. It's in a book, so go read the book.
Yeah. I don't care. You can say
Do you
anything.
have
Yeah.
the book? Advertise it real quick.
I do not have the book.
Damn
I
it.
am I am out of the book at the current location of where I'm at.
Dave's first book.
So read my book. It's right here. We'll superimpose my book later.
No, we won't.
Finish it, fix it in post. Yeah, Dave's not here. Coming soon to Audible. Um,
I actually
but
have a copy, but I couldn't tell you where it is. I have too many books, or I would grab it too.
it's all good, brother.
Hmm. All right.
So I know you've said you've had a rant for a long time for your rant corner, and you never got to do it. Do you still remember it?
I had two rants.
I don't remember one.
Um,
Do you remember them?
I do, but it comes with the first one comes with like a picture, but I'm gonna have to scroll back to find it because I got to read the story and then bitch.
Okay.
It's not a long story. It's like a pretty quick story, but it just enraged me when I read it. So give
Yeah.
me a second here. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is.
Perfect.
Okay. I
Do
don't
we
know
get to
why this enrages me, but it does.
do we get to see the
Uh,
picture?
it's not like the picture's not going to mean anything to you.
Oh, okay.
Like it's kind of one of those stock photos.
Okay.
It's more or less the context of what's written.
All right.
All right, and it probably won't be like a super long rant. It's probably taking me longer to explain that the rant's not going to be long. It just makes me really angry when I read
Okay.
it. All right, here's the little ditty. In 2013, a woman went to pick up a friend in Brussels, less than 90 miles from her home. So, for you, Dave, be like driving to Chicago or O'Hare.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, from your house to O'Hare. However, because of a GPS error, she ended up in Croatia after driving 900 miles across five international borders. So this for just for reference, this would be like if you were like, well, I'm going to just drive to O'Hare. I got to pick somebody up from the airport. But then you ended up in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Meaning you crossed several states.
Yeah. Yeah.
She realized she took a wrong turn 2 days after leaving. Her son had reported her missing. How
What the-
fucking stupid do you have to be to think, okay, I'm going to drive to O'Hare. And 2 days later, I'm still not at O'Hare, but now I'm seeing the fucking ocean.
Mhm.
At what point, like 2 days, it should never like you could have fucking walked from your house to O'Hare in less than 2 days. Walked,
Right.
but you're gonna drive for 2 days, 900 miles across. So that means, and I don't know. I'm assuming in these other countries, you have to stop and show a passport or something, or maybe you can just drive through them. I don't know if they're like states here.
Yeah.
We can just drive from state to state. We don't need to show anything. I think when you're going into different countries, you're showing a fucking passport or something. So
You would think, yeah.
it, you don't stop and question that. Oh, welcome to whatever country. Oh, welcome to whatever country. Huh, I don't remember having to go through five countries to get to
Yeah.
O'Hare. Like
Yeah.
it, it's infuriating to me that like and it's I just want to meet this lady and then slap her and it's
Yeah.
not necessarily violence towards women, violence towards stupidity. Because
Well,
how do you do this? Like I have so many questions for this lady. How do you fuck this up?
not only that, in 2013, there was an invention called God, it was such a new thing back then too. What was it called? Oh yeah, cell phones.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't have called, or the kid couldn't have called and be like, Mom, where the fuck are you? Oh, I'm in Croatia. I'll be right there. I'm on my way. Like Mom, it's been 2 days. I know, I'll be there in a minute. Like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
I'd
Like,
still
how many
like.
times did she have to stop for gas?
That's the thing. No car can go 900 miles. So that means you stop for gas minimum twice, minimum.
Yeah.
And that's going with an average 300 miles a tank, right?
That'd be 3 times then.
Well, let's say she's full when she leaves the house.
Hmm.
You get 300 miles, you fill up. So
Yeah.
now you're at 300, then you filled up. So now you go 600, you filled up. Now you're at 900 miles.
Hmm.
You haven't filled up for that third time. I'm just
I
assuming.
got you. Yep, yep, yep.
So, and okay, the only other thing, like I try to rationalize this in my brain because well, I didn't lose sleep on this, but I am still enraged by this. The and I use the 90 miles to O'Hare from like Rockford to O'Hare because it's the easiest way because it was about 90 miles. If I'm driving to O'Hare, I shouldn't have to stop and get gas unless I was already on E.
Right,
I
right.
should be able to literally go from Rockford to O'Hare and back and never have to get gas because I could probably drive another day just to work or something before I need to get gas, right?
Yeah.
I also know, like, let's say I'd never been to O'Hare, but I look on on a map, even if I pulled out the old-fashioned map quest or a
Hmm.
map book, in one of
Yeah,
those,
Atlas. Hmm.
I should be able to determine that this should not take me more than 2 hours to get there.
Right.
Maybe three if the traffic's really shitty. And it just, how do you drive for 2 days and not once question,
Well,
might
not only
something
that, but
wrong here?
are we saying she didn't stop for a hotel also? You know what I mean? Like she's driving for 48 hours straight. There's no fucking way.
She's going to pick up a friend in Brussels, less than 90 miles from her home.
Hmm.
And there was a GPS error. So because GPS, so let's say you're on your way to O'Hare, traffic's terrible, and it says, take this exit. We're going to take you to the country roads. The end game should still be get
O'Hare.
you back to O'Hare.
Hmm.
Now, let's say I didn't know the name of the airport. So I didn't type in O'Hare. I put in International Airport. And it decided for some reason, oh, Dulles International Airport in Washington, D.C. Now you're in Rockford, right? And you're not thinking anything because you don't know the name of the airport. But it says 17 hours to get there or something like that, right? But it should also say 900 miles. And
Right.
you're thinking, well, it's supposed to be less than 90. Or maybe you don't know that it's less than 90. You just know, oh, this is where I'm going, right? See, I'm trying to rationalize how she could have fucked this up. So
Well, she's
anyway,
a
she
woman
starts
driver.
driving.
She's a woman
And
driver.
she starts driving. She's driving. She goes through Chicago, and then it says, "Welcome to Indiana." And she's like, "Oh, okay, well, that's one country."
Hmm.
And then we drive straight across Indiana, and then it says, "Welcome to Ohio." Oh, okay. Now, granted, it's been 4 or 5 hours at this point. I know because I've made that drive before.
Yeah.
And then you're driving, and then it's welcome to Pennsylvania, and you're like, now I've been driving for 8 hours, give or take at this point. I'm not questioning the fact that like I'm you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
at some point you have to say, huh, let me turn this GPS off and like type in my destination because maybe I'm going the wrong way.
Hmm.
Or let's make it even worse. Let's say it's sending you the other direction in the country. Right? O'Hare's east from Rockford, but it sends you
What?
west, like to like Billings, Montana, or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand how you could fuck this up. I don't know why anybody would continue driving. To me, this is a she realized she took a wrong turn 2 days after leaving. To me, you should immediately have your license revoked. There should never be driving. You're not mentally capable of handling rational thought or simple conclusion of things. Maybe we should just lock this person up in a fucking padded room. I don't know. There's something wrong here. Nobody should make this kind of fuck up. Even if you knew it was 90 miles away and when you looked at the GPS, that extra zero did not register. So you see 90 and you're not acknowledging that third zero. But there's multiple things with the GPS that tells you mileage, it tells you amount of time it takes you to get there.
Yeah,
And then you should also be able to rationalize 90 miles is about 90 minutes, give or take.
yeah. And it's got an ETA normally.
Yeah. When it says 2 days, or if you're that like, I don't even know. I can't sit here and blame GPS error. This is pure fucking stupidity.
Hmm.
Or this lady's playing dumb, and she wanted to go on a little road trip without. And this was what she explained. Oh, I thought that's weird. I thought maybe I took a wrong turn, so I just kept driving for 2 days. Like, no, no.
No, there's something more to the story.
Yeah, there has to be. Um, yeah. So, anyways,
Okay, what's your other one?
I can't remember at this point.
All right.
I know that was the one that I'm trying to think what my other the other rant was more like which will probably allude to yours. It probably had something to do with like a fast food restaurant or something because it's usually fast food or driving are two things that will get me into rant mode really quick. And I don't have a picture that's like, oh yeah, like I remember this. It was a rant, and at the time it was like, oh, I got to get this off my chest, and life goes on and you forget about it. So
Okay.
I couldn't tell you at this point. If I think of it, I'll bring it up in a future episode. But yeah,
Okay.
go ahead with yours.
I'll go into mine. So yesterday, my wife and I were in Rockford doing some family things, and it got later than I expected. So I was like, "Hey, we're on our way home. Let's call this hibachi place that we like. I won't use their name just to be nice."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Why don't you call them? Order what I like, you know?" And she's like, "All right." So she called and said, "Hey, we want the hibachi steak fried rice, no peas, no carrots, not the dinner." And first of all, when he got her name and number, he called her Joey instead of Joy because he couldn't understand that it's just Joy, not Joey.
I
So
couldn't
then
couldn't tell the difference between a male's voice and a female's voice. Well, I guess
no, well,
there's females named
there are
Joey,
females
but
named Joey, but just the way he pronounced Joy, it was Joey.
mhm.
And so there was an issue with that. And then she ordered hers, which was chicken fried rice, regular. You can have, peas and carrots, everything's fine. And he's like, all right, 20 minutes, $50 or whatever. And she's like, I don't think I did it right. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was $50. And I'm like, well, we haven't been there in a while. I know they're expensive. I don't fucking know. I was like, $25 a piece, maybe. I don't know. I was like, maybe they fucking ordered the wrong shit. She's like, no, I was like, no, I heard what you said. We'll find out when we get there. So I get there, get the bag, pay for it, get in the car and give her the bag. And I'm driving away. And she's like, yep, they did it wrong. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, they charged you for a dinner, but me for the chicken fried rice. And I'm like, what the fuck? How do you know that? And she said, well, there's soup and salad on the top. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right, well, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to turn around and be like, oh, you charged us for the wrong thing because she probably ordered it wrong. He ordered it wrong, whatever. I'll eat it. Fine. I'll just eat around. I won't have the soup and salad because I'm allergic, so she can have that. No big deal. Drive all the way home. And this place is like about a good 20-minute drive from our house. Get home, get in, get the food out, and I realize there's carrots in my fucking fried rice. Well,
And
I'm allergic, so I
that's what
can't.
I found out that you're allergic to.
Yes.
I didn't
So
know carrots was a bad
yeah.
thing.
So I called and thank you for calling. 1 minute. I'm like, oh fuck, all right, fine. And so I waited. It was literally 5 minutes before someone else. And it was a girl that came on the phone. And I was like, hey, so I just came through there. This is my order number. This is the number it's under or the name it's under. I ordered no peas or no peas and no carrots. It clearly says no carrots on my receipt. However, there's carrots. Silence. Okay, you want to come back?
Confusion. You've
Yeah,
created confusion.
yeah. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I can't eat it. I'm allergic to carrots. I can't eat the carrots, so I can't eat the rice. So yeah, I want it. I want to come back. Plus, it's 20. It was 28.95. I was like, I'm definitely getting my shit back. And they're like, okay, well, come on back. We'll have it ready when you get here. I was like, okay, I'm coming back. So I go back. I go in, and the guy at the front desk there is probably all of maybe 9 years old. Uh, and I'm like, yeah, he's like, can I help you? I was like, yeah, I'm here to pick up my order. And he's like, what's the name? And I told him, he's like, I don't have anything for you. I was like, well, no, I was already here, like literally 20 minutes ago. Um, you helped me when I came here the first time. I'm back because you screwed up my order. Oh, what's wrong with it? I was like, well, I ordered it with no carrots. And I brought it back to show that, yes, you fucked up. And so he looks at it, puts it back in the bag, and he's like, I'll be right back. So he leaves. And I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes. I don't know. It seemed like fucking 30 days, or 2 days driving. And he comes back and hands me a brown paper bag. He's like, here you go. Sorry about that. And he hands me a little strawberry Japanese Chinese drink thing. And I was like, I didn't order this. He's like, no, this is our way of saying sorry for the mix up. Here you go. And I'm like, so for me driving all the way back, you're just gonna give me a $2 fucking drink that I don't even like strawberries? That's cool. And I was like, whatever, man. And I was like, where's the other stuff? He's like, oh, I threw it away. And I'm like, well, I would have eaten the fucking steak and shrimp at least. I was like, I just brought it back to show that you fucked it up. You shouldn't have thrown it away. Oh, I didn't know. And I was like, okay, where's my receipt? And he's like, oh, I threw it away with it. And I'm like, all right, forget it, man. I'm just gonna leave. So I got in the car, opened up. Now, I don't know if you've ever been there before, but they don't give you brown paper bags. They give you like their cloth reusable ones. But I got a brown paper bag, so I thought that was kind of strange. Um, and I open it up, everything's in there. We're good. No carrots, everything's fine. And I get home, and I don't know if you've ever had one of their strawberry drink things, but you have to like push the top in. It has like a marble. You have to like dislodge the marble and all that. Well, I did that. Well, the piece to push into it broke off, and I couldn't get the fucking thing. So I had to like basically use a screwdriver to get the fucking marble thing out to get it to be able to drink it. And I let Joy have it. I was like, the marble's supposed to come out, I think, or this is, I don't know. I've never had one of these things. So just be careful. Don't swallow the marble. I
Yeah.
don't want you to die. So she drank it. She liked it, thought it was really good. Um, but it was just bullshit. I mean, and what really sucks is I had planned on smoking meat last night. And when we got home from Rockford, like I said, it was longer than I anticipated. We got home at 6 o'clock, and then I had to go back, come back. So it was all every bit of 7 o'clock before I even ate dinner.
Jeez.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna smoke because it's gonna be 4 o'clock in the morning by the time I'm done smoking dinner, or smoking meat. So like, I'll just do it today, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I literally pulled in and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna eat first and then I'll pull out because at 6 o'clock it wouldn't have been that bad. I could have pulled out the smoker, eat, and then throw in the meat and be fine. It'd be 2, 3 o'clock or whatever. I'm glad I didn't get it and start it up because I would have been really pissed then. Started
Hmm.
up for nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my rant on that is, I get it. It's a Chinese or Japanese restaurant. I get that the workers there are all family and they're all young, except for mom and dad, who are probably the cooks.
Yeah.
Um, but maybe learn how to speak English better.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe,
I think there's that. Obviously, there's a language barrier, but there's also, I think, and I'm surprised this shit doesn't happen more with you because you are allergic to so many things.
yeah,
You basically have to be like, yeah, I want this thing that you have, but I need you to hold this, and this from the order because I'm allergic to these things. And I'm not allergic, but I'm super picky with certain things. So when I go order at one of these type places, I don't like mushrooms. I don't I don't like this shit. And and like, or if you go to a fast food restaurant and get a burger, I don't want mustard. I don't like mustard. I'm not a mustard fan. I don't like pickles. I don't want the onions on it. I don't want these things. So it's like I would be fine with cheese and ketchup, but if you say cheese and ketchup, for some reason they can't figure out that just means cheese and ketchup. No, we got to put the pickle and the extra glob of mustard, like the exorbitant amount of mustard at this point because you don't want it. So I'm going to give you even more of it, which
Yeah.
makes it harder for me to either wipe off or whatever. And so I've actually gotten to the point where I just order chicken nuggets, which you're allergic to chicken. So you can't even like revert to something easy at a fast food place because you can't fuck up a chicken nugget. But that's what I'll order because you can't apparently you can even fuck up a plain hamburger because
Yep.
we've ordered those and it still comes with everything and it's like you idiots wonder why or you want more money, but you can't even do the simple job of assembling a plain hamburger. That's two halves of a bun and a piece of meat. I'm actually simplifying the process for you, but because you have droned yourself to bun, burger, throw this shit on, you just do what you do. It's you don't think, but you don't deserve more money either. You know what I
Right.
mean? So this turned into
And,
my
and
rant now, I guess.
I've
But
worked in the kitchens before in fast food restaurants. So there's a monitor at the start of the line and at the end of the line. It'll say cheeseburger, plain, and on your little shelf that has like all the little different wrappers is a little printer that will print out cheeseburger plain. And you're
mhm,
supposed to take that, put it on your wrapper, because that's why it's right next to the wrapper. And then you flip it over and you make your fucking burger. And you're supposed to remember cheeseburger plain.
yeah,
But they don't. You know, a
because I
lot of
don't
them just
care.
eat a cheeseburger. I don't give a shit. And the other thing too is the last time I worked at one, it would be highlighted. It was all old school fucking dialogue, analog shit, not dialogue, analog shit. So it was like computerized version that said in green letters on the black screen, cheeseburger. And then underneath it would be a green block that says plain, but the plain is black, so you can see it. It
Hmm.
stands out, but people didn't give a shit. I saw
No,
it all the time,
yeah,
you know.
that's literally that, and the fact that like a lot of that food's not good for you. So I avoid most fast food restaurants anymore. If I am gonna go, it's chicken nuggets because you can't fuck that up, and like I don't even bother ordering shakes half the time because machines are broken.
Mhm.
And Taylor, which is kind of right by
Yep.
Northern Illinois there, it has the fucking lockdown on that. So for at least for McDonald's shake machines, but
Oh yeah,
um,
they're in the other ones too. They're in Dairy Queen.
yeah. So it gets to the point where it's like, fine, I won't eat your fucking food. I'm not going to support this industry if you can't make simple fucking things. And to me, when I ask for something plain, I've simplified the order for you. I'm actually making it easier for you to do your job, but yet apparently throwing everything on it because that's what you normally do is easier than whatever. So, like in your case, they're not, I guess for like a hibachi type place. It's not like the rice comes with carrots and peas in it. You have to add that. Now, if they're making a huge batch of rice with carrots, peas, mushrooms, and all these things already in it, yeah, at that point it makes it difficult because now we have to make a separate batch for you. But you're a restaurant, you should be able to do that. But and I'm sure they're not thinking, well, what if we get that one guy that's allergic to carrots today? So let's make typically so I don't know. I don't know how they're making the food. But it is enraging when you're like you order something, you get all the way home, realize it's fucked up. Got to go all the way back, which I don't go back. I have in the past. I've just gone and blasted them on like social media,
Yeah.
X or Twitter when it was Twitter. And lots of times if you do that, you'll get somebody from the company on the main thing that will like they'll address it as a response and then usually DM you or something and then you'll get like a code for a free something later on. But
Yeah.
you know, it seems to happen so often that, and they usually want to know what location and things like that. They want to know some information.
Yeah.
They can look into it. But I mean, hey, at least you got the free strawberry drink that you couldn't open.
Yeah. Well, and like going to fast food, like, the only fast food that we'll ever kind of indulge is the BK Lounge. And the BK Lounge by my house has fucked up 100% of our orders.
Yeah.
So we have 100% not gone there. It's probably been over a year since we've been there,
Yeah.
you know. And like we don't do McD's because it's not real food.
Nope.
We only do
It's
McD's
goo.
when we've got the grandkids, you know. But I like beefaroo. Like that's one that I'll fuck with, you know.
Beefaroo has never screwed up an order for me.
Yeah, no.
Never.
Even Taco Bell has fucked up my shit. So I do like Taco John's better.
Yeah.
So I usually hit them if I go fast food anything, but I don't even do that anymore. I
Yeah.
just don't have time to do shit anymore, which is fucked up because fast food's supposed to be for quick time. But
Yeah.
like Culver's, I don't know if the Culver's down there is the same as here, but no matter what, as soon as they open, they've got a drive through wrapped around the building into the fucking street
It's
every
not as
fucking
bad
day,
down here.
all day. It's ridiculous.
Well, I know. The Culver is up north, and I don't understand it because, like, it's infuriating. I actually have eaten more Culvers down here because while there's still four cars in the drive-through, it's not wrapped around the building, and I can actually get Culvers, and I don't have to wait an hour. Like up
Yeah,
north, there was no way you weren't waiting 30 minutes or longer just to
mhm,
order, just to order. And it's
yeah,
like, fuck, it's quicker just to go inside at that point. It's no longer fast food. This has become an inconvenience, you
yeah.
know. So down
Well,
here,
and we've
I do
had,
get Culvers, and they don't screw up either. They're pretty good.
yeah, and I would say that the Florida one that we went to a couple times when I was down in Florida visiting the family. They have their shit down to a science. They have your drive-through window. They've got the double, one on either side, and then you come up and you pay. You get to the fucking handout window, and they basically tape your receipt on your window, and they say drive forward, and they have 3 lanes
Hmm.
that they'll park you in. And I swear to God, it was probably 3 minutes. We parked for about 3 minutes, and we
Yeah,
were the second car in the second lane, and we ordered enough for like 9 people. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people. And yeah, we were in and out in 3 minutes after we paid for our shit.
yeah,
That was cool. Like I was worried when they parked us. I'm like, oh my God, look at all these cars. It's gonna be forever.
yeah.
No, 3 minutes, and they came over and here's your shit. Holy fuck! And like you said, it was right. Wasn't
Hmm.
all fucked up, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Culver's has a pretty good thing on that. Beefaroo, which you can only get up north.
Yeah.
For those of you listening in different parts of the country, you probably don't even know what the fuck a Beefaroo is or a Culver's. Um, but they're usually pretty good. We have an Arby's down here, and I haven't had Arby's since I've been down here, which is kind of weird. I haven't had like a roast beef sandwich. Um, but I used to get them all the time at Beefaroo. I just
Yeah.
haven't craved it probably because I haven't seen a Beefaroo. So it does, I don't, and I see Arby's, I'm not as whatever. They don't, Arby's, I mean, it's hard to fuck up a roast beef sandwich because they come plain. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
Like,
the other thing I don't like about, like, say, Arby's, and this is why I don't fuck with Arby's anymore, is back in the day, you could get 5 roast beef sandwiches for $5,
yeah,
a 5 for 5, and it was a lot. It was like what you consider their double roast beef now.
yeah,
And now you go there, you get a single roast beef, which is barely enough on the bun, and they're like $49, and they're doing two for $8. Like, what the fuck are we
yeah,
doing?
yeah,
So I don't really go there anymore for that. So a lot of times we would do Arby's sandwiches and beef Bruce fries,
yeah,
for a long time, back when they were cheap and it was decent. Now it's, $4,000 for just to drive on their parking lot. And it's like,
yeah.
why would I do that?
Right. Now, and then do you eat Wendy's?
No, because they're expensive as fuck too.
So that's why, all right. So here's a little hack. I almost don't want to say this, but you go to Wendy's. Now, doesn't matter for you, but this is more for the listeners because you're allergic to what I'm about to say. Um, there's you can order their chicken nuggets. Like I said, I don't order burgers because you can't get it right.
Right.
So I go chicken nuggets. Well, you can get a 5 piece or a 6 piece, whatever the fuck it is, and it's like, oh, $3 or $4, something like that, right? And you can get a 10 piece, and it's like a 10 piece with a meal. So you get a drink and fries, and it's like, you know, say $12 or something like that, right? You can get a 50 piece nugget, and it's like 14.99, and I'm like, the math's not mathing.
Yeah.
You're gonna give me, basically, you're gonna open a bag of nuggets, you're gonna dump it, you're gonna take that, you're gonna, let it fry, you're gonna dump it out, and that's going into a container that you're bringing me, because I think them bags have about 50 or 100, right? I
Hmm.
don't know. You worked in the fucking industry. What did
Yeah.
McDonald's have? Was it a bag of 100 or a bag of 50?
I don't think there was a quantity in them. They were just
Just a bag of.
I think it went by weight.
Oh, okay. So I just assume there's probably 100 or 50 in the bag.
Hmm.
They open it because they always gotta cook them. They never have enough of the for the
Right.
50 piece, and you'll wait an extra few minutes because it's got to fry. But it's cheaper. Like if I ordered like a, I don't know, 3 or 4, 5 piece or 6 piece, whatever they have, it's costing me more than if I just ordered the 50 piece. And
Yeah.
I'm getting like double the amount of nuggets. So when I go there, my kid's like, I want uh, 2 plain cheeseburgers. So they're gonna fuck that up. And then I want nuggets. And I'm like, well, I want nuggets. So I'm just gonna go 50 piece. And I'll just give him some nuggets from the 50 piece. Then he
Hmm.
can have up as many as he wants, like he can have 20
Yeah.
of them. He
Right.
really only wants like 6 or 7, but
He can have as many as he wants up to 50.
yeah. Well, he can't have that because I'm going to eat like 25 of them. So, you know, but so there's a hack. If you're into the nuggets, not you, Dave, but anybody else that can eat chicken, go to Wendy's and do the 50 piece, and it's the best deal in terms of nuggets. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of these fast food places, everything where I'm at is it's every restaurant besides there's a lot of places I've never heard of before that are down here, and they're all chicken. Everything is chicken. That's like there's literally places that only serve chicken.
Yeah.
So like I don't think you could move where I'm at. Well, you could. You just couldn't eat any of the fast food down here.
And that's fine by me. I don't really
Because
care.
like if you guys said, all right, here's 9 fast food restaurants on this list. 8 of the or no, of 10 restaurants, 8 of the 10 would be chicken based. Like that's what they only do, chicken and variations of chicken. And it's like, what the fuck's going on? I don't get it. It's weird. Like we've tried
Down
a
south,
bunch
they
of,
like their chickens.
they do. It's fried
That's why
chicken.
the egg price is so high, is because they could kill all those chickens for you.
No, it's because uh, I almost said a certain political party. It's because there's certain people that went around and set those chicken farms on fire to drive prices up that were probably getting paid by a certain political party that could take advantage of it. But anyways, we're not doing a conspiracy corner at
No.
this moment, but there you go. That alludes to something like that. No, it's just they like their fucking chicken, dude, and it's it's like it's weird. Like we've tried different like, well, I've never heard of this place. Let's stop there. We stop in, we go look at the menu. Everything is chicken. Like, okay, so then like 2 weeks later, oh, well, let's try this new place over here. We've never tried there. We've never heard of them. Go in, it's all chicken. It's like, okay. I mean, yeah, and then there's others that are just blatant. Their name is Slim Chickens.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's another one that's Tenders. Like, you know what they're doing, but there's these other ones that I've never, like, they're just weird names. And you're like, oh, I wonder what that is. And you go in, and it's chicken. Everything's chicken. So,
Fuck
hey,
that place.
yeah, fuck all those places for you, right?
Hmm.
If
Yeah.
you ever come down to visit, there are other places I would take you that are not chicken. So,
You've got Culver's, so I can do that.
There's Culver's. We have McDonald's, Dairy Queen. We have all those, but like the chains, Wendy's, things like that. But anyways, let's do a Dear Dave, and then we'll skip what you're watching.
That'll work because I'm not watching shit anyway.
Me either.
Nothing,
So
nothing,
I figure it's
nothing.
probably a good week to skip the what you're watching. All right, here's your Dear Dave. This is the subject line. People with abandonment issues, when does it get better? Here's the email. Without going into too much detail, I have extreme abandonment issues from childhood, both physically and emotionally. I'm in my 30s now, married, a new mom. I've been in and out of therapy for trauma my entire life. I know my issues stem from abandonment, but when I do get into fights with my husband, it feels end of relationship, or it just says feels end of relationship each time. I think there's a missing word there. I know it's part of my defense mechanism I developed as a child to cope with abandonment. Um, I leave you slash accepting the relationship is over before they can leave me, etc. That's in parentheses. So I've worked so hard in therapy. I've become so aware. I've been learning coping skills, but damn, when did the childhood issues stop reappearing? How many times does my husband have to tell me he loves me and chooses me and doesn't want to leave me for me to believe him? Everything feels like a criticism and an attack on not wanting me. I know I struggle with self-worth and I've been working on that too, but for once I really would love some relief from my childhood. I am on anti-anxiety medication, and that's how the letter ends.
All right. So let's start with. All right. She said, I'm assuming this is a female because she said husband. So,
Hmm.
um, she said that she did a lot of work and she's worked hard on herself through therapy, but she's gone through several therapists. It sounded like she said.
Mm, mm-mm.
What'd she say about therapy?
I'm trying to find it.
Towards the beginning, I thought she said
Um,
lots of
been
therapy.
in and out of therapy for trauma my entire life. I guess
In
you
and
could
out.
take that as seeing multiple, but I don't. It could be the same person, same
Yeah.
therapist, just off and on.
99% of the time when they're saying they're in and out of therapy, it's because they're either the therapist has given up on them, which could also allude to their abandonment issues, or they feel like they're doing fine. They get graduated, get done, and then they just find another counselor. Or they just don't. So a lot of it is if you don't find the right counselor, and I say this almost every week, it's about that connection with the counselor and you. If you don't have a good therapeutic alliance, you could do all the work under the sun and nothing's going to happen because you just don't buy into it. You got to have that trust and respect from the counselor, and you have to trust and respect the counselor in order to get something out of it. So the abandonment issues will always be there because she's not actually doing the right work. It's like if I'm going home and I want to plant a bunch of trees, but and I don't dig any holes, I'm not going to plant any trees.
Right.
If I go home and dig a bunch of holes but don't ever put trees in them, then there's going to be no trees ever. I did all the work. I dug all the holes. Why am I not having any trees? Or if you dig all the holes, plant the trees, and then don't water them, you did a lot of the work, but you didn't do all the work. You didn't do the
Mhm.
right work.
Right.
Or if we go idiocracy, we poured Brondo on all of our flowers and our plants, and they all died. I'm doing the work. You're not doing the right work. You know.
Right.
Um, so I don't see it getting better until she finds a counselor that actually worked with her on the right things. Now, as far as abandonment issues or issues with childhood trauma, I'm a firm believer in writing letters. I think we've talked about that before. Write a letter to your abuser, whatever it is, whatever happened. If it was just a bad car accident that you saw, then write a letter to yourself about what you saw. Forgive yourself for not putting yourself in therapy. If you were 5 years old, you didn't know that you should have needed therapy because you don't know what therapy is at 5 years old.
Hmm.
So forgive yourself for that and then really write it and get it out. Get it out of you because you have to write it to do it. Once you write it, read the letter in therapy, process the discussion of the letter, and move on. A lot of it is that. A lot of it is the letting go. And the only way you can let go is if you actually process it the right way. A big key firm thing is the right way. So that's my 2 cents. As far as how long it takes to get rid of the issues, I have a client that I've worked with for, I would say, 5 weeks, processing some trauma in their mind, stuff that happened, 15 years ago, that it took about 5 weeks for them to process and get over it. And now they're moving on to the next thing, so it all depends. I also have someone that worked for 2 weeks, wrote a letter the first week we talked about it. The next week they read the letter. The week after that, they were good.
Mm.
So it just kind of depends, on how quickly and how detailed the actual letter is. You know, um,
So let
so
me
that,
ask a question, just because I'm kind of curious. Why does writing a letter? So let's say, or I had some sort of trauma that was inflicted on me. I come see you, you tell me you need to write a letter to this person or whatever. We're not going to physically send it to them, but write a letter like you're writing it to this person, and then next week we're going to read it. And so I go do that. I come in, I read it, and then I feel much better. Is it just the act of getting it out
yeah.
that
So
solves that, or what is that why does that work, I guess?
think about, like, if you've ever held a secret, right? You got that secret. You're just dying to tell someone about this. I got to tell someone. I got to tell someone, but you can't. And you've got that need for release, that need for satisfaction, you know, um, what's the fucking word? Instant gratification. You need that gratification of telling somebody, but you can't. So you hold it in, but it eats you up inside because you're, fuck, I gotta tell someone. I gotta tell somebody. When you finally do, you feel relieved, released. You release that information. So basically, holding in trauma, you're basically feeding it, and it's just a ball of energy inside of you that it needs to get out. And the only way to really do it is to write a letter, because by writing the letter, you're consciously making the choice to say the things you want to say to that person, even though you're not actually saying it. But by doing so and then reading it aloud to me as your counselor, your mind is kind of tricked into thinking that you're actually saying it to the person.
Okay.
Because yeah, your mind sees me, but as you're saying these things, your mind will automatically picture you talking to that person. So let's just say it's your dad. And so you and I are sitting across from each other. You start reading the letter as if you're talking to your dad. At one point, your mind will actually put your dad in my spot. So it's tricking the mind to believe that you're saying the things that you wanted to get off your chest, even though you didn't. And that's kind of how it works.
Right. And it's, I guess that it helps too, because if you're writing that letter, reading that letter to you, or your mind is kind of not playing a trick. I don't like using that, especially when it comes to like therapy, but I get what you're saying. It's tricking your mind into thinking, yeah, I'm reading this to my dad, let's say. We'll go with that scenario. So, and my mind is like, it's like you're now my dad and I'm reading it. But like, if let's say I actually read that to my dad in this scenario, in real life, dad's probably going to be like, fuck you, I didn't do that, and you're going to get that whole, which isn't going to be productive, right?
Right. Right.
Where if the mind is channeling you as the dad while reading this letter, so it's like you're getting this out, you're basically pushing this trauma out of you, and you're not getting that argument, that pushback, that whatever, because you're sitting there taking it as the dad, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
In that scenario, kind of,
Yeah.
because these people, like you know the if you have trauma, and like you use like a female, this person that gave her, oh, you raped me, yada yada yada, and we were in a relationship for 10 years, and you know, every time you would hold me down and I didn't want to, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? But then if you read that to the actual person, I didn't do, I can just see it, you know what I mean? It would be like an argument. They wouldn't let the person release and read that fucking letter. It would actually be creating probably new trauma.
Mhm.
So it's interesting. Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's something that I kind of came up with myself, and it's kind of worked. Just, I mean, I'm sure there's a process for it, but I just kind of take everything and tweak it and make it work for what I want and need it to.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. So find a better counselor. That goes down to.
Yeah. All right. So there's that one. And like I said, we're going to skip the what you're watching. We inserted our rants and your situation that you dealt with in place of that today. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And they weren't bad where I needed to do a cool down.
Yeah, I didn't get like where my face turned red and I was
Yeah.
sweating and punching things. I
Right.
didn't need quite the cool down, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
No.
literally, if I wrote down every time I got mad, like angry, I would have rants every week. But lots of these things, I'm just like, what the fuck? I can't do anything about it. Who cares? But there are certain things, like that one. I literally took a screenshot when I was scrolling one day,
Yeah.
taking a shit, and I saw it, and I was like, "You've got to be shitting me! How do you be this stupid?" And literally in my head, I'm just ranting, like I can't fathom somebody being that dumb. But anyways,
Yeah. Pretty
so I
crazy.
saved it, and I was like, I'm using this podcast for a rant, and then like while I'm driving, it's just terrible drivers. So that's usually going to be what it is, that or some sort of interaction with a waiter or at a fast food that's usually what rants.
Yeah.
So, but like I try and like find these like if I'm gonna have a rant on something odd because you don't want to hear the same rant every single week. Oh, went to a fast food restaurant and they fucked up my order. We
Right.
all have that rant. Every single person watching and listening has had that rant because nobody
Oh
has
yeah.
ever had it right 100% of the time because they just don't. But so everybody
Mm.
has that rant. So I don't want to bring that rant. You know what I mean? But like
Hmm.
your scenario, it's a little different. So, um, but yeah, I try and find if I'm gonna bring a rant though, it's gonna be something that's
Gonna be
different
juicy. Yeah.
that's got me fucking fired up. So,
Yeah.
anyways, social medias,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's do it. All right. Like I said, we're gonna go from the bottom up on these
Yeah.
from now on. Start with X. Follow us on X at guys still high number five. Follow us on TikTok, guys who still high five, all spelled out. Instagram, guys who still high number five. YouTube, you can watch and listen on YouTube. It's youtube.com/ the at symbol guys who still high five, all spelled out. Patreon, you can watch and listen for free there as well, but it's 2 days earlier release than it is on YouTube. And then you can also subscribe and get bonus content because when we get done with the episode, we record bonus content every week
Yep.
and throw that up as well. And it's like deeper dives into the Dear Dave segments, deeper dives into the conspiracy corner, skits, the drunk not drunk stuff. So that's very educational in
Absolutely. It's
in
great.
a comedic way.
Hmm.
um, all that stuff. And there's more to come. As we think of shit, we're gonna throw it up there. So um, it's just basically like we're doing the extra work. Throw us a bone. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. Yeah.
patreon.com/ guys who still high five, all spelled out. That's where you go for that. And then if you want to email us a Dear Dave or ooh, cover this conspiracy or you know, whatever. Oh, guys should watch this movie or, whatever. You can email us, guys who still high number 5 at gmail.com. There you go.
Yeah, there you have it.
So that'll do it for this episode, eh?
Yeah,
All right, buddy. Until next time, right on.
left out.